Hello again, Unit 1, Lesson 1, talking about money. Let's start pronouncing this word correctly. Money, money, okay? Money, money. Let's talk about money. And then I'll start with a quotation. A quotation, okay? A quotation is uma citação, okay? And this guy here, Jackie Mason. He said, money is not the most important thing in the world. Love is. Fortunately, I love money. What do you think of this sentence? What do you think of this quotation? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Okay. But yeah, everybody talks about money. And today we are going to expand our vocabulary about it. Okay. Before we get started with the text, let's see some words that I have prepared to discuss with you. So we have here some words to the right, and I'd like to know if you already know the meaning of these words. For example, this text is about how does the stock market work? How does the stock market work? So, stock. What is stock? Stock means ação, okay? So stock market means mercado de ações, okay? Mercado de ações, stock market. Be careful with the pronunciation, market, market, not market, no, market, okay? Market. Beautiful. Share. Share has two meanings in English, okay? Share can be compartilhar, okay? But in this case here, share means ação, okay? So we have two types of ação. One is stock and the other one is share, okay? And shareholders are the people who buy shares, people who invest in shares. So they're called acionistas, okay? Shareholders, okay? Because they hold the shares, okay? Invest, okay, is when you put your money somewhere. Investors are the people, okay? The people who invest, they are investors. Be careful, investors, investors. Interest. Interest can be interesse, okay? But in this case here, we're talking about juros. Interest, juros, okay? Beautiful. Profit. Profit. What is it? Profit. Profit is lucro. Profit. Okay? Profit. And profitable. Profitable. Lucrativo is the adjective. Okay? Profit. Profitable. Okay? Loss. Loss means perda. Okay? But in this case, it's more prejuízo. Okay? Prejuízo. Loss. Okay? Beautiful. So that's the first vocabulary that I'd like to talk to you about before we read the text. In the text, we will see new vocabulary, additional vocabulary, okay? Make sure you check the meaning, the translation of the words, okay? English is about vocabulary. The more words you know, the better you understand texts and the better you understand videos, movies, songs, series, conferences. Whenever people talk to you, you understand better if you have a big range of vocabulary, okay? So you are going to read this text now, okay? You're going to press pause, or you're going to download your ebook. You're going to open the PDF. Can be your mobile phone, can be in your computer, in your tablet, no problem. You're going to read this text, okay? And then after that, when you get here, invested, we are going to check them together. You're going to press play again, and then we are going to read the text together, okay? Make sure you check all of the new words. For example, savvy investors. If you don't know, you can circle it, you can highlight it, or you can write it in your notebook and write the translations. If you prefer to build your vocabulary list in an Excel file in a computer, no problem. One column for the words in English, and the other column, the other words in Portuguese with their translation or with their mini explanation, okay? That's fine, no problem. But the most important thing here is to know the meaning of the words and to expand your vocabulary, okay? So press pause now and read the text. And after, we are going to read together. Do it now. Pause and read the text. Excellent. Now we are going to read the text together, okay? Let's start from this paragraph now. In the 1600s, okay, the Dutch East India Company employed hundreds of ships to trade gold, porcelain, spices, and silks around the globe. But running this massive operation wasn't cheap. In order to fund their expensive voyages, the company turned to private citizens, individuals who could invest money to support the trip in exchange for a share of the ship's profit. This practice allowed the company to afford even grander voyages, increasing profits for both themselves and their savvy investors. Let's check this vocabulary carefully, okay? So yeah, in the 1600s, the Dutch East India Company employed hundreds of ships, okay? Ships like Titanic. Titanic was a big ship. To trade. It means to exchange, okay? I give you gold, you give me something. I give you porcelain, you give me something, okay? Gold, porcelain, spices, and silks around the globe. Maybe you don't know spices, okay, which is temperos, okay? Spices, temperos. And silk, seda, okay? Seda, silk, seda. But running this massive operation, running here is not about running, okay? To run means correr, but also to manage, administrate, okay? To run. The president runs the country. The CEO runs the company, okay? So run means manage. But running this massive operation wasn't cheap. In order to, okay, a connector, do you remember the connectors we learned in the intermediate level? In order to, com a finalidade de, in order to fund, okay, to invest, to pay for, in order to fund their expensive voyages. Voyages comes from French, which means trips, okay? The company turned to private citizens. The company turned to. What does it mean, turn to? When you turn to someone, you look or you ask for help, okay? You turn to. When I have problems, I turn to my mother. When I have problems, I turn to my father. When I have problems, I ask for help. No, with my mother, I ask for help with my father, okay? So the company turned to private citizens, individuals who could invest money to support the trip in exchange for a share. Share, ação, or could be also participação, okay? A share of the ship's profits. Profit, okay? This practice allowed the company to afford even grander voyages. To afford means to have money to pay for something. Can you afford a Ferrari? Can you afford a Ferrari? I can't afford a Ferrari. Okay? I don't have money to pay to buy a Ferrari. Okay? Increasing profits for both themselves and their savvy investors. Savvy means experienced, intelligent, wise, knowledgeable. Okay? Knowledgeable. savvy. Let's continue. Next paragraph. Oh no, sorry. Oh Jesus Christ. Okay, wow. Next paragraph here. Selling these shares in coffee houses and shipping port across the continent, the Dutch East India Company unknowingly invented the world's first stock market. Since then, companies have been collecting funds from willing investors to support all kinds of businesses. And today, the stock market has schools, careers, and even whole television channels dedicated to understanding it. But the modern stock market is significantly more complicated than its original incarnation. So how do companies and investors use the market today? Do you know it? Do you understand about the stock market? Let's see some words here. So selling these shares, ações, in coffee houses and shipping ports, okay, across the continent. Shipping means expedição, frete, okay, transport. When you buy something from Mercado Livre, for example, or Amazon, you have to pay the shipping cost, okay, the shipping, the transportation. So shipping ports, okay, across the continent, the Dutch East India Company unknowingly, let's understand this word. Know, saber, ok? Unknown, desconhecido, sem saber, ok? Unknowingly, sem querer, sem saber, ok? Unknowingly invented the world's first stock market. Since then, companies have been collecting funds from willing investors. Willing. For example, I am willing to invest in banks. Okay? So willing means disposto a. And then you have the noun willingness. Willingness, disposição, willingness, okay? Willing investors, okay, to support all kind of businesses. Be careful with the plural, huh? Business, singular. Businesses, plural. Process, singular. Processes, plural. Princess, singular. Princesses, plural, okay? And today, the stock market has schools, careers, and even whole television channels dedicated to understanding it. But the modern stock market is significantly more complicated than its original incarnation, version, okay? So, how do companies and investors use the market today? No more words here, okay? Third paragraph. Let's imagine a new coffee company that decides to launch on the market. First, the company will advertise itself to big investors. If they think the company is a good idea, they get the first crack at investing, and then sponsor the company's initial public offering, or IPO. This launches the company onto the official public market, where any company or individual who believes the business could be profitable might buy a stock. Buying stocks makes those investors partial owners in the business. Let's understand this paragraph here. So let's imagine a new coffee company, okay? Any coffee company that decides to launch on the market. So it's a new company that wants to enter the market. First, the company will advertise. Advertise, what does it mean? To advertise is to promote, okay? To make a promotion, to promote itself to big investors. Hey, big investors, this is my company. My product is really cool. Would you like to invest in my company? If they think, the investors, okay? The investors, if they think the company is a good idea, they get the first crack at investing. the first crack. It means the first chance at investing. And then sponsor. To sponsor means patrocinar. And sponsorship, patrocínio. Okay? And then sponsor the company's initial public offering, okay? IPO. This launches the company onto the official public market, where any company or individual who believes the business could be profitable, we know profitable here, okay? If the business could be profitable, might buy stock. Do you remember this modal verb? Might, possibility, okay? Probability. Might buy stock. Maybe he buys, maybe he doesn't, okay? Might buy stock. Buying stocks makes those investors partial owners in the business, okay? So far, so good. Let's move forward. This whole paragraph here now. Their investment helps the company to grow, and it becomes more successful. More buyers may see potential and start buying stocks. As demand for those stocks increases, so does their price, increasing the cost for prospective buyers and raising the value of the company's stocks people already own. For the company, this increased interest helps fund new initiatives and also boosts its overall market value by showing how many people are willing to invest in their idea. Let's see this paragraph carefully. So their investment helps the company to grow, and as it becomes more successful, as à medida que, olha this, as it becomes more successful, more buyers may see potential, may, another modal verb, okay? Possibility and probability, same idea. Where am I? Oh, where is it? Okay. More buyers may see potential and start buying stocks. As demand for those stocks increases, so does their price, increasing the cost for prospective buyers and raising the value, okay? Raising the value, okay? Raising the value of the company's stocks people already own. For the company, this increased interest, okay? Interest helps fund new initiatives and also boosts, okay? So to boost means impulsionar, okay? It boosts its overall market value, okay? Overall market value by showing how many people are willing to invest in their idea. Okay? Good? Let's move forward. However, do you remember this connector? Connector of contrast. However, but if for some reason a company starts to seem to look less profitable, the reverse can happen as well. If investors think their stock value is going to decline, they sell their stocks with the hopes of making a profit before the company loses more value. As stocks are sold and demand for the stock goes down, the stock price falls, and with it, the company's market value. This can leave investors with big losses unless the company starts to look profitable again. Let's see here. So, however, entretanto, porém, contudo, todavia, however, if for some reason a company starts to seem to seem, to look less profitable, the reverse can happen as well, okay? As well, too. If investors think their stock value is going to decline, to go down, they sell their stocks with the hopes of making a profit, okay, before the company loses more value. Intelligent, huh? As stocks are sold and demand for the stock goes down, okay, as, okay, à medida que, the stock price falls, and with it, the company's market value. This can leave investors with big losses. Losses, huh? Losses we saw here. Prejuízo, okay? With big losses. Unless, do you remember this connector? We saw it last module. Unless, a menos que. Unless the company starts to look profitable again. Beautiful. Next paragraph. This seesaw of supply and demand is influenced by many factors. Companies are under the unavoidable influence of market forces, such as the fluctuating price of materials, changes in production technology, and the shifting costs of labor. Investors may be worried about changes in leadership, bad publicity, or larger factors like new laws and trade policies. And of course, plenty of investors are simply ready to sell valuable stocks and pursue personal interests. All these variables cause day-to-day noise in the market, which can make companies appear more or less successful. And in the stock market, appearing to lose value often leads to losing investors, and in turn, losing actual value. Okay? Let's see this paragraph here, important words here. This seesaw of supply and demand. Seesaw, gangorra, okay? Seesaw, gangorra. Vai e vem, okay? This seesaw of supply and demand is influenced by many factors. Companies are under the unavoidable... Oh my God! Oh. The unavoidable. Unavoidable means unavoidable. Let's understand. Avoid, evitar. Okay? Unavoidable, inevitável. Okay? Inevitável. Influence of market forces, such as the fluctuating prices of materials, changes in production technology, and the shifting costs of labor. Shift means to change, okay? So the shifting costs of labor, the cost that keeps changing all the time. Investors may be worried about changes in leadership, bad publicity, or larger factors like new laws, okay, and trade policies, okay? And of course, plenty of investors are simply ready to sell valuable stocks and pursue, we saw it last module, to pursue, which means seguir or perseguir, or correr atrás, or ir atrás, okay? To pursue. Pursue personal interests, okay? All these variables cause day-to-day noise in the market, okay? Which can make companies appear more or less successful. And in the stock market, appearing to lose value often leads to losing investors, okay? So, leads, leva a, okay? This leads to losing, leva a, okay, lose investors. And in turn, consequently, losing actual value, 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 okay? Human confidence in the market has the power to trigger everything from economic booms to financial crisis. And this difficult to track variable is why most professionals promote reliable long-term investing over trying to make quick cash, okay? However, experts are constantly building tools in efforts to increase their chances of success in this highly unpredictable system. So human confidence in the market has the power to trigger, to activate, to enable, okay? When you have a gun, that's the trigger. Psh, psh, that's the trigger. It activates, okay? Everything from economic booms to financial crisis. Crisis is the plural of crisis, okay? Crisis singular, crisis plural, all right? And this difficult to track variable, difficult to track. To track means rastrear, okay? This difficult to track variable is why most professionals promote reliable. Reliable means confiável. Reliable long-term investing over trying to make quick cash. Okay, so they prefer this reliable long-term investing over, okay, in comparison, trying to make quick cash. All right? However, experts are constantly building tools in efforts to increase their chances of success in this highly unpredictable, previsível, unpredictable, imprevisível. Imprevisível, unpredictable, okay? And the last paragraph. But the stock market is not just for the rich and powerful. With the dawn of the internet, everyday investors can buy stocks in many of the exact same ways a large investor would. And as more people educate themselves about this complex system, they can trade stocks, support the businesses they believe in, and pursue their financial goals. The first step is getting invested. Okay, let's see this last paragraph. But the stock market is not just for the rich and powerful. Rich people with a lot of money and powerful. With the dawn. The dawn means nascimento, chegada, okay, of the internet. Everyday investors can buy stocks in many of the exact same ways a large investor, a big investor would. And as more people educate themselves about this complex system, they can trade stocks, support the businesses they believe in, and pursue, again, their financial goals. Okay? Goals, objectives. Okay? The first step is getting invested. So the first step is to start to invest. All right? Beautiful. Make sure you understand everything about this text. You learn the new words. And the next lesson, we are going to do an exercise to see if you really understood the text. All right? And I see you soon.